Hello Scorpio friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Scorpio March 2023 Astrology Horoscope forecast. The theme of this month for Scorpios is Passion Flames Lit, and we will talk more about that in just a second. So first, this is for you. If Scorpio is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other placement of Scorpio you're watching for, this is part of your astrological picture. And if you're a very late degree friend with a birthday November 15th or so through the rest of the sign, or around 23 degrees or so through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to or watch my Sagittarius report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both the Sag and the Scorpio reports. Okay, so you can see right away what I'm talking about with the passion flames being lit with 7 planets in Aries right from the beginning of the month. The sun moving into Aries will also have a new moon in Aries, and Mercury will get into Aries. So this is, 10 events or transits in fire. And it's unusual that that happens at this time, although we do tend to have fire energy starting at the end of March. It's usually a month that's dominated by fellow water sign, Pisces. And although we do have some of that going on, and you will feel the kisses from the sun and Mercury moving through your sign. Kisses meaning sweet outcomes and possibilities as those mathematical configurations come about. The dominance is going to be on this fire. And interestingly for Scorpio, you're getting the fire and the passion flames being lit from everywhere because Pisces energy, so the sun and then when Mercury gets there, actually accentuates your 5th house, which is ruled by Leo, which is a fire sign, and it rules your passion flames and, what gets you all excited. What you are most looking forward to when you have free time, your bucket list stuff, romance, children, your creativity. So the water planets are making you sizzle with creative potentials, lighting up your love life, lighting up your creativity sector. And then all of this fire energy is bringing motivation, ambition, inspiration, clarity, and direction, because this month is not like any other month that we have this year. First of all, it's my favorite month of the year for a bunch of reasons. One reason is all this Aries energy. New beginnings is coming from every single one of these placements. Plus, we've got 3 planets changing signs, Mars, Pluto, and Saturn. We'll talk about that later. But that's unusual that outer planets change signs. And then, of course, Mars has been in Gemini for 7 months and will be moving into your fellow water sign. But there's this just general energy of new beginnings, and all of the planets are moving direct. This is also unusual. So we don't have any personal or outer planet retrogrades or their shadow periods. All of that is drifting away into blasting forward mode. So not only will you have the motivation and the inspiration and the get up and go and the will and the passion, you'll also likely have the direction. Sometimes when you've got retrograde energy, it's really hard to see more than one step ahead of you. And also having had Mars in vacillating Gemini for 7 months from the end of August until now, March 26th. Even when it went direct in January, yes, it did start to bring things back online, and Mars is one of your co-rulers, so that is particularly relevant for you. But there's still this energy of vacillation going either way, diffusing your energy. But from March 26th to May 21st, you're going to have Mars in your fellow water sign, making these beautiful trines to your water placement, bringing all kinds of possibilities. I'll get back there to talk about some more potentials with that, but I just want to focus on the fact that once Mars gets out of this vacillating energy, it's really going to help you with direction. The things that were loose puzzle pieces that were, sitting and not knowing where they fit. This is a time when things really just start coming together and clicking, and a massive amount of progress and productivity can occur in a very short amount of time, and can make up for many months or even years of stagnation, confusion, and uncertainty. So, pretty exciting. As I mentioned before, this Aries energy can definitely light up your passion flames and plus your 5th house. So, romantic love. This is a very big time for that. And we've got some amazing aspects within these fiery connections to talk about, because Jupiter is going to get together with Venus, which rules love, beauty, and money. Jupiter will also combine with Mercury when it comes here into fire. Jupiter and Chiron will get together. And so let's talk about some of these dates and the possibilities. Remember that if you have to do something important, the date that you do something makes this a birth chart. Basically casts a birth chart or an event chart for that experience, and you hold that with you for the whole time that you are doing whatever that project is or have that relationship. So if you have to lock something in and you want really good energy, March 1st and 2nd, Jupiter and Venus are together. So this is sizzling for love, money, self-esteem. And this whole month is full of opportunities for anything big. Moves, change of jobs, launches, bringing your life work out. Any kind of new beginnings. The planets changing signs scream new beginnings. All the Aries energies scream new beginnings. The astrological new year on the 21st, the 20th and 21st, depending on your time zone, and the new moon on the 21st in Aries is all screaming new beginnings, seed planting. And so you might see a massive amount happen at this time, but it might also come in the form of planting seeds. Okay, so you could plant the seeds and give them the water and give them the sun, and and they can grow in the future, but you're very likely to see the direction of things coming. So all of that is happening. Then on the days, March 27th and 28th is when Mercury and Jupiter come together. Big news, big information. The 1st and the 2nd and the 27th and 28th, the days around those periods are really, really good for locking in important things. Follow your flow, follow your intuition. But, if you have to make some plans, these are really good times in general to lock some good stuff in. Vision boards, the 20th, 21st, one of the best times of the year where the universe is very receptive to your intentions. Create something that has the essence of what you want more of in your life. Put it somewhere where your subconscious mind can take it in continually, and it will help you create the things that you want. So talk about seed planting. This is pretty outstanding. And then, of course, that new moon at 0 degrees of Aries, 0 degrees, new beginnings. So this is just screaming new beginnings. And it's all over the place. Now, we also have this Jupiter and Chiron conjunction. You'll be feeling that really all month, even though it's happening on the 11th and 12th officially, because they're outer planets. Chiron's an asteroid, but they're in the outer part of the solar system. So that means that they move slowly, which means that their influences last longer. And Jupiter, in this case, the great expander, can expand the chironic wound, something that makes you feel very vulnerable, something that has been a difficulty for you, something that has been a source of self-esteem issues. This could be a health issue. This is your health sector that's lit up by all of this Aries energy. So health, pets, animals, your daily systems, organization, your daily workflow, what you do every day is definitely in for radical change with all of this Aries energy, and trying new things or saying yes to some things that come to you that feel good could definitely shake things up. This is definitely a time for things to be shaken up. And you could see this manifest in any area of your life, but those areas are pretty prominent. So this chironic wound could be something in your health that you've been dealing with for a while, on the emotional, mental, spiritual, or physical level. So it could bring it out into the open. Jupiter can expand it, but it's for the purpose of healing. So even if it comes out and it's hard, you could have radical and pretty fast transformation and healing, which is very exciting. All right, so besides all of this, it's very important to know that this month is very important because the end of January through around April 7th, so all of February, all of March is in there, is our big open window free from personal planet and outer planet retrogrades. Then once we get into April, we're going to start descending back into retrogrades. We'll have Mercury, then we'll have Venus, which will be a long one, and you're not going to have the type of, rambunctiousness and ready to do stuff and impetus that you'll have here at any point during the year, likely. So it's good to take full advantage of that. And also to know that we are starting eclipse season. You've been listening to my reports or in other ways following astrology, you know that we've had a Taurus-Scorpio eclipse cycle since the end of 2021, goes until the end of 2023. So we have the April-May eclipses, and then we have eclipses in the fall or Spring for You All Down Under. That will be the final storyline. So you have had something in motion, completely reconstructing your world. Being a Scorpio, having the opposing energies in Taurus, this is a very big deal. So there will be a Scorpio eclipse in May. And you will start to see the eclipse season for that May eclipse rev up in early April. But the April 20th new eclipse series in Aries and Libra is starting. It will be happening at the same time as the Taurus Scorpio finishes off this new eclipse cycle. We'll call it a shadow view, but it's really the season starts, 4 to 6, even sometimes 8 weeks before. So all of March is putting us back in eclipse season. So big news, big events, life-changing circumstances likely to happen. And so you're starting to really get an inkling or a taste or some hints of what those changes are that might be coming as the heat of eclipse season, April and May, really starts to rev up. So that's all very, very big deal. So if you have to start something new, a new health regimen, new doctors, new treatments, anything in the health sector or wellness or stress reduction, you've got just amazing energy for that too. And if you're looking for your forever furry or clawed or pawed friend, this is also an amazing time for animals and starting new relationships. So that's really good if that's something that you're working on. All right, let's talk about these sign changes. So I was alluding to the fact earlier that once Mars gets out of Gemini, you'll have more clarity and direction. It will then move in and make trines as it moves through Cancer, bringing, the energy of Mars and productivity to speak your language, the water language, the language of emotions, the language of depth in the heart. And even though Mars is not super comfortable in the sign of Cancer, it's going to bring some obsession in Cancer-related things. So obsession, strong focus on home, family, real estate, housing. It also can bring its border collie. I always call Mars the border collie of the zodiac. It'll bring its obsession to ninth house stuff. So teaching, learning, education. You might find your perfect school program or step into a role as a teacher. Your spiritual teaching, something with your church or other organized, group of people who have your same beliefs. This could be travel or languages or international business. So from March 26th to May 21st, you've got that strong energy in Mars making those nice aspects for you. The next sign change that we have is Saturn moving from Aquarius to Pisces. So we've got Saturn in Pisces, moves there March 8th. Oh, and by the way, I'm giving you a lot of dates this month, but if you want even more, if you like to know the dates and the types of things that are happening on those dates and what they can bring delivered to your inbox 1 month early, go to AnnieHelpsYou.com. If you've been listening to my work a while or if you're new, go do it because I only send out 3 newsletters a month, and sometimes I also send out promotions or things only that my group gets or resources that they only get. So it's definitely a group with benefits that's free to join at AnnieHelpsYou.com. You can see that in the link underneath the notes of the video or podcast. And you can get your write-up of all of the important dates signed to delivered to your inbox 1 month early. So we've got March 8th, Saturn is moving into Pisces. It will be there from now until sometime in 2026, almost 3 years. And where it's moving is a water sign. So you've got 3 years of blessings of Saturn making trines with your Scorpio placement. So Saturn, the energy of hard work, fulfillment through ground building, foundational building. You're building foundation in your creativity sector. If you're a Scorpio who has been working with musical or art or other, athleticism or any project that is your passion project, and you haven't brought it out into the world, either because you haven't had time or you haven't had the discipline to devote to bringing it from the depths of your being out into a form where others can appreciate it, this is going to be a very important set of years for you because as Saturn is laying its groundwork here, it's setting things up for you. It may test your romantic relationships, it may test your relationships with your children, but it will give you opportunities to rise above, to be accountable for the things that are your part, and to take positive action on the things that are in your control, and to join with other people to make your relationships the best. Saturnian energy can be a little bit heavy in the way that it's, the stern taskmaster, but the discipline can create gifts. And so the degree to which you work in those arenas hard, when in 2026, when Saturn leaves, it will bring you gifts. And speaking of which, you've been working hard with Saturn having been moving through your fourth house for all this time. So there may have been a lot of heaviness in your home and family sector, with housing, with real estate. And at this point, you're going to start to see Saturnian gifts. So the degree to which you invested energy in your home, family, real estate, housing, inner world, you're going to start seeing these Saturn gifts. And this is something that's not talked about a lot with Saturn, but it is something very exciting about Saturn changing signs. So that is going on. And then we have, Pluto is changing signs too. That's a very, very big deal, right? Once Pluto gets in Aquarius, this energy is going to be present until 2044. So even though it is going to dance back and forth between the late degree Cap and early degree Aquarius for 2023 to 2024, it will solidly sink into Aquarius in 2024 and be there until 2044. And from now on, it will be close enough, and it has actually been in recent years, close enough that it's influencing the energy of Aquarius, even if it's not officially there. And for you, this is accentuating your fourth house. So as Saturn is leaving your fourth house of home, you're having a massive amount of transformation, birth, death, transformation, rebirth in your home and family sector. This can be a little heavy in the way that it can bring pretty major events to your home and family, Could be figurative, like the death of the relationship with a house and you move, or it could be actual literal deaths that go on. And this is 20 years. So of course it gives a lot of time for things to happen. It's nothing to be afraid of. Pluto is your ruler. You know how this goes, but it is a time when you actually have the energy of a nuclear power plant, your own personal nuclear power plant, to revitalize and transform your home and family sector. So Saturn laid the groundwork, and now Pluto can come through. So any of your biggest dreams, your deepest crazy desires in your home and family experience are things that you're going to have more energy and power to create. And the hope here is that any power that comes to you, you'll use it wisely. Not everybody has experienced people using their power wisely to them, Many people might have not used their power wisely when they had power over you. But this is a chance that you have now to gain power, become very empowered, and to use your power wisely. Okay, so I think we skipped over the Virgo full moon. So let's just talk about that in the days around March 7th. Oh, and by the way, if you're listening on the podcast and you want the visuals, you can see the syndicated versions of these podcasts on my YouTube channel. And if you're on YouTube and you don't like the visuals, you can either scroll the video up so that you can hear the information without seeing the screen, or you can find Astro Kisses with Annie Botticelli, which is my syndicated podcast, and listen to the audio version only if that's what you prefer. Okay, so the Virgo energy lights up your 11th house. So 16 degree Virgo full moon, March 7th, days around there, fullness, completion, fruition, drama, coming to the sign of Virgo, which rules the 6th house, which is already lit up by your Aries stuff. So health stuff, things having to do again with the animals, your day-to-day experience, your systems, your workplace, and is lighting up your 11th house. So fullness, completion. Now remember, the drama could be positive. You could have a profound healing, and we talked about that with Jupiter and Chiron. So something important is going on here. And it could relate to those areas of life. And it could also relate to your friendships, your social circles, internet-based projects. And that is in a nice angle for Scorpio. So it's a 60-degree angle full of opportunities and possibilities. So all the Scorpios can get goodies from that. But the closer you are to 16 degrees, so we'll say 11 degrees to 21 degrees, the closer to 16, the more you get the kiss. So that would correspond with like November 1st through November 11th, and the closer to like the 5th or 6th, the more you get that kiss. Okay, so if you want to access exclusive and sometimes early content, go to AnnieBAstrology.com. Annie, the letter B, astrology.com. You can see this in the notes underneath the podcast or video. And you can check out my 2023 retrograde calendar, which also has the open periods for the rest of the year. It's kind of slim pickings, so if you are not getting certain things in this big open window now and you need to plan things for the rest of the year, you might want to check out that calendar that will outline all of that for you, as well as Jupiter through the signs, do-it-yourself birth chart analysis, all kinds of different things that I have in there. Also, how to manage tough astrological transits. I have a whole section on making tough astrological transits work a little bit easier for you. So you can check all that out there. Now, if you want to be an astrologer as your profession, if you think I put a lot into my free resources, you should see what I put into my paid ones. This Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course at beastropro.com, beastropro.com, can take you from ground zero to professional astrologer, or if you've been studying, can help you to fine-tune your craft, expand it, and pull everything together to give cohesive, coherent, kick-ass readings every time and earn money for them. So you can see that at beastropro.com. If you want to just start with the basics, Astrology Basics and Beyond, or have some free classes on abundance or wellness, go to lumelife.com, Lume life.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.